Hello and welcome. My name's Jose. I'm trying to go by Isano online. Don't worry about what that means. This is ABS, Anime Bullshit Podcast. We also go by Anti-Braking System, and the theme is not cars. Anyways, I'm starting this podcast because I like anime, I like cartoons, I like animation, I like comic books, I like manga. Anything that's 2D, sometimes 3D animated I like, but basically I just wanted to start this because of my love for animation. I am trying to be a filmmaker of like live action, which is really funny. Why don't you be an animator? Well, I don't know how to draw. So anyways, I'm here with two of my closest friends, Baker and Sherm. That's what we're going to go with. Don't worry about their first names.
Hello, I'm Baker.
Hello, I'm Sherm.
Yeah, that's not right.
What?
You calling us liars?
Yes, I'm calling you for dinner. So
Ain't calling you a truth?
So basically, I have here my two closest friends, Baker and Sherm, and they can introduce themselves.
Yes, hello. I am Sherm.
I'm Baker. I will probably be the loud one.
That's not true at all.
That's great. It'll help in the post.
Good.
Anyways, so we all like media content.
Just a little bit.
We all don't like we all don't like the same thing though. So for example, I don't normally care for wrestling or Yu-Gi-Oh, but these two are big on it.
My soul hurts.
But I will watch it.
A spear. Oh my god. Hook the leg.
So
Put him in the walls of Jericho.
So I'm basically here to just start a podcast. My biggest inspiration was the Weekly Planet, but every now and then I'll listen to something else, other podcasts, which I really want to do something with some people. So here I am. Essentially what this is going to be is we're going to come in every week. I will bring in some news that I saw that I thought might be interesting, or you guys maybe have like an opinion on. Sherman Baker, the listeners, we don't have any. So as of right now. So that's what I'll come in with every week. And then we'll get to the main topic. We have no listener questions or reviews or mail. So, we won't be doing that for now. But to start off, have you guys watched Yuri on Ice?
No.
Can't say that I have, Jose.
That OP's a banger though.
Okay.
It is. It really is.
History Maker goes hard.
So I saw a couple of articles online this week about how the follow-up has been canceled. There's no follow-up as of right now.
Yeah,
And
it was going to be a movie, I believe.
yeah, so the follow-up was supposed to be a movie. I know Anime News Network and Comic Book Reader, I think, had a couple of them. The link I have on here is from Anime News Network, but it's basically just saying, yeah, we're not going to get any follow-up. Now, was this supposed to be BL? Do you guys know?
I believe it's got BL in it.
I heard that there's like definitely elements of BL between, I assume, to be the two main characters, but I don't know if there's like a romance actually going on.
All right. Well, to all our Yuri on Ice followers, if the one follower comes in, if there's like one guy who's like, that was my show, man.
No, you misunderstand. Yuri on Ice won Anime of the year it came out. Like, people were fucking loving that shit.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and that makes me wonder why in the world would a follow-up be canceled then?
There's no money there.
Probably no money. Maybe the studio is like, there's something else. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, A Life on Pi won an Oscar, bankrupted the studio. So it is what it is. Sometimes we can't have everything we want. In other news, voice actor Yasu Muramatsu has died. Now, I told you guys earlier, this is
I don't remember.
Tom.
Click the link.
This is Tom from One Piece. This is his biggest role.
That looks like Tom from One Piece.
I mean, he doesn't.
The man looks good. I don't know why you're laughing, Salem.
Oh yeah, no, my bad.
You
my
ever
bad,
seen
yeah.
Tom? Pull up a picture of Tom from One Piece. Yeah, let's go. Look at that man.
That is peak male performance right there.
Peak physical fitness right there. Like, that man's a fucking shipwright.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When I would read this manga, I assumed he was not yellow.
No.
I assumed he was like the same color as every other human.
No, he big yellow. He's a fish man.
It wasn't until he like opened his little fingers and I was like, oh, that's weird.
See, like the fishmen are like a variety of colors, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
like Arlong's blue.
Arlong's blue, Hachi's red, Tom's yellow. All the colors of the rainbow.
Real sad to break this news to you guys on 420. Blaze it. But yeah, voice actor Yasu Muramatsu has died. Yasuo. Okay, Yasuo. What did you
Look
say?
at how they spelled it.
I can't.
How is it?
Spelled Yasuo.
Yasuo. Oh, that's my bad. I'm already making
No,
mistakes.
Dear listeners, this is the second time Sherm has corrected Jose on the
No,
pronunciation.
Salem's laughing because I think it's like the League of Legends character.
Well, that, but also, like, this is the second time.
Sure, it's Yasuo.
My bad. Yasuo. Yasuo?
Yasuo.
Yasuo Muramatsu.
Muramatsu. Yep. He is part of this world. He'll get isekai'd, hopefully in a better world.
Him and fucking that one guy on Snake Way right now.
Oh, Toriyama.
Toriyama.
R.I.P. to Toriyama. Just to let everyone know, I am Mexican, so it did hurt.
It's okay. They stopped the gang war for a day.
Apparently that was a hoax.
What?
All right. So
Reality can be whatever we want it to be.
So-
Exactly.
as you saw earlier, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and Jujutsu Kaisen the animated series is going on Netflix. Now, I don't know how long that's going to be, but it looks like Crunchyroll is porting over a portion of the library to Netflix. I didn't look too much into it, but Suzume is going on Netflix and now everyone's going to be watching it. It'll be the next Silent Voice. Everyone's going to be making edits. Everyone's going to be like, this is so me. And we still have yet to get to it.
So relatable that a talking chair really goes hard. Let me tell you.
There's a talking chair.
Absolutely. Did you not watch Suzume?
Apparently, I did not.
Neither did I, but I still know about the talking chair.
I don't know anything about it. I just did I did watch one TikTok once where a girl made the door and then she dressed up as Suzume.
It's got a banger of an you could call it an opening. It's just got banger music in it.
I'm sure everybody will get to it, and then we're gonna be hearing a bunch of
Yo, let's go.
Is that the Genshin Impact?
There's no way that's real.
So this is a real. Okay, so we're moving on. This is Genshin Impact. This is what I hate. Genshin Impact gets new anime released by Demon Slayer's Ufotable. However, all this is a character animated trailer.
They got Ufotable to do a character animated trailer.
Yes.
Yo, play the trailer.
Well, I mean, the trailer's gonna go hard then.
Yeah, hit that trailer.
All right.
Yeah, hit that trailer real quick. Oh, I love Keegan.
Who loves ads?
Keegan Michael Keel goes so hard. Skip ad.
Let me try and get the audio on the TV.
The Hoyo-verse.
And
Man,
for the list,
sorry, if J.K. Simmons was here right now, he'd yell at me.
On my fucking tempo, Neiman.
Okay, go ahead. You had something to say?
oh, I was just gonna announce like what the title of the trailer was, just for anyone who doesn't know.
So the title of the trailer, the song "Burning in the Embers," full animated short Genshin Impact clip. And yes, this was animated by Ufotable.
New character.
Here it is.
Dog, this is 7 minutes long. Holy shit!
New character sells new skins. Let's go. Yep, that sure does look like fake characters. That sure does look like the good animation.
Man, this totally reminds me of Demon Slayer.
Shut the fuck up.
I hate that Ufotable is now being associated with Demon Slayer.
Yeah, it makes me a little sad.
It
too.
was the Fate Studio long before.
It will never escape Demon Slayer from now on. Just so everyone knows.
Thanks for reminding me, Jose.
So-
Appreciate it.
This looks pretty bog standard for them.
But okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. If you watch this on your own, just give it a watch. I don't care for Genshin. I can't get into it.
I
I've
think
tried.
the characters have good designs, but the gameplay looks awful.
Also, this story meant nothing to me. I didn't care, but it is really well animated. So just give it a watch.
One Piece is 25th. Oh, never mind.
However, what I did hate is that Comic Book Reader did clickbait it by making it sound like, hey, Ufotable surprise dropped the Genshin Impact anime. Like, why? And then they got me again, but this time it was by comicbook.com, where it says Black Clover may get seasonal anime after all, but there's nothing here. There's no drop. There's no announcement, nothing. All it says is there was an interview with somebody on the production that says, hey, there is a possibility Demon Slayer will be back at some point. We just can't say when,
Black
what,
Clover.
who, where. The only thing it says, though, the only thing that Nick Valdez is saying is, hey, when it comes back, it'll probably go on a seasonal way because that's what happened with Bleach and that's what happened with another one. I couldn't tell you. I
That's
didn't want to read
crazy,
it.
dog. That's
saying it happened
crazy.
with Bleach is so weird because Bleach was split.
Absent from the anime scene.
How long
for
was
some
it?
time.
Like 10 years?
It was
Dude, it was long enough to where I didn't think that they'd animate the last arc.
I was in high school still. That was almost 10 years ago. And I'm pretty sure I
Yeah.
watched Bleach like before I entered freshman year. So it has to be somewhere between like 2012, 2013.
I don't
I just
know.
remember that.
I feel like Black Clover was doing fine with its week-to-week episodes, but seasonal could help the quality rise. It'll just take longer for it to come out.
12 to 24 episodes. I mean, Slime's doing it. Jujutsu Kaisen does it. They don't, they do at least 12 to 24. So it makes sense.
Well, it's like, as far as I know, Black Clover was the only one left doing week to week, except unless you count like
Boruto. I
and-
think they're even on a break. Oh, that was the other one they brought up. The other one they brought up, I think, was Boruto. They're like, Boruto and Black Clover, they could come back week to week. And then
Wasn't Boruto done by the Black Clover studio?
it's same studio.
Studio Pro.
Yeah, the Naruto studio. That's all I know about.
Naruto, Bleach, Boruto.
Now, moving on from Black Clover because there was nothing there. I just got clickbaited. I wanted to tell you how mad I was. Because that was the only bit of news of Black Clover I saw. Well, there's like other people like top Black Clover characters
I'm
and
pretty
stuff.
sure they announced a return date for that.
I didn't see one.
What,
So,
for Black Clover?
I'm pretty sure they put out a trailer for it even.
Black Clover.
I'd have to look though. It's like not a hard date. It's like this month of this year date.
That's the manga, I think. The release schedule was officially confirmed by Shueisha's Manga Plus today. Moreover, we are not getting just one but two chapters after a 3-month-long wait. Black Clover will be publishing 2 new chapters in the upcoming Giga Jump Spring 2024 spring on April 30th. So this is just the release of the manga. But as for the anime, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, like 3 months ago there was a trailer. I'm gonna watch it and see what the date is on it.
Season 5 is rumored to be released early as 2024.
So no solid date or anything.
No, it was like even in the trailer, I think it's a month and a year.
This is from the 21st of last month. So I mean, let's see here. There's been nothing recently. Okay, release Black Hole over
potential release date.
Oh, yep, potential release date. So nobody has a definitive release date.
Honestly, I'm on the opinion of wait as long as you need to.
So,
Black Clover was real good, except for that filler arc that we don't talk about.
And it's really weird. It just came in out of nowhere, and you knew it felt off. And then as soon as you look like on filler.com, they're just like, yeah, this is filler. And you're like, okay, I don't have to watch it. Okay, so the Look Back trailer also got announced this week. Look Back is a one shot by Tatsuki Fujimoto, Chainsaw Man himself. Now this is nothing fucked up. It's just a slice of life where 2 girls are basically striving to be mangakas, and it tells their story. Now I read the one.
Nice.
I read the one shot. It's very cute. The fact that they're turning this into a movie, it's very nice. I think I've said this before. Tatsuki Fujimoto has apparently been on record as saying, I don't want to draw anymore. I just want to tell stories. Now I'd have to look up a source, but I don't want to right now. But that he has kind of said like, I enjoy, because if you read his stories, he always lays everything out more of a movie. That's why Chainsaw Man kind of had like a big love for movies, is because he always lays out his mangas and panels and everything like they're a composition shot, because he thinks about it. He's not, when he does his action, it's not for, oh, this would look cool. It's like, realistically, if I were to be filming this, how would it look? Which I kind of like about him. But that Looking Back trailer, there's nothing about a US release date. But if we do get one, we should go try and see it. But I don't think we should go 2 hours somewhere for that kind of stuff.
Make a special trip just for it.
Just for Looking Back.
Yeah, I mean, the idea sounds really nice, but yeah, unless it's local, nah, probably not.
Yeah, we'd have to wait for it or pirate it, which I do not. I don't
condone.
Is condone? Sure. Which one's condone?
Yeah, Salem's using it correctly. You don't condone something if you don't partake in it.
Okay.
Don't condone raising your Jolly Rogers.
I, on the other hand, fully support pirating. Especially when Disney keeps it in jail. Forever.
Well, I think there's some circumstances
Disney,
that,
Netflix, they all do it. You remember that's why no one cared about part 6 of JoJo.
I don't want to put this out and get sued by anyone.
Editor, cut that.
I am the editor.
You can't get sued for saying you pirate stuff.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, if you blatantly admit to it.
I'm not telling people where to go to do it.
I just said sometime.
Just look on the internet. You'll find it. It's there.
But yeah, I don't condone piracy. I just condone that people give you the right to watch something.
Make it available. Make it available for general audiences if they want to pursue it.
That's why all those things are Summertime Rendering, a classic example. They picked it up. Disney picked it up, and it's like, oh, it's just in Disney prison. I can't watch it until it's completely out in Japanese.
Now that was really weird about Summertime Rendering is they took it, but they didn't drop it week to week like they are Go Lose a Ranger. They waited till the whole thing was out, and then I think they dubbed it, because I looked for it too on Hulu. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
When it was coming out.
Or like part 6 of JoJo, where they released it in blocks. It's like, why?
Yeah.
And only on Netflix.
And that was the shame about JoJo specifically too, though, was that I fucking love JoJo, but the way it was released and the fact no one was really talking about it, at least on Twitter, it just, I just didn't really get the vibe from that, that I wanted to watch. I still haven't to this day.
That's right.
So moving on from Looking Back and, no piracy, and they should make things available. X-Men 97 is something I said hey, we should watch this because it looks better than the actual 1997 X-Men show. But I read this article because I was just scrolling, and Game Rank said that they have an interview here with one one of the showrunners, directors, an interview with comic book Eli Yonimura and Chase Connolly discussed their favorite anime influences in X-Men 97, reveal their persuasive presence throughout the series. Basically, it's just saying like, hey, we were making this show in the 90s and so were Japan, but ours kind of looked like shit. But compare that to Japan's, which probably didn't, we didn't have a budget. We didn't have that, we didn't have that name recognition. Well, they did because it's X-Men and it was the 90s. But they're just kind of saying like, hey, we didn't have a big budget. We didn't have a big studio. We were basically given what we could. And just imagine Japan at the time and they were coming out with some bangers. Like, how did we lag behind? That's basically what they're saying. So they're also saying like, well, now that we have the money, we have Marvel behind it. Their Marvel's telling us like, hey, put everything you fucking can because people are getting mad at our movies. Just do what you can. Make it look good. Make it look nice. We want people to start coming back and being like, oh, dang, Marvel's back, dude.
It would be great if more people could appreciate what we're doing here since we're redoing that old series again.
They're bringing, so they brought back the old series, and I went to my local comic book shop and I talked to the comic book owner, and he was saying like he really loves that the show came back with almost all the voice actors. He loves that the aesthetic is almost the same. The only thing you're not going to find is that 90s tint to it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I have a rough idea what you mean.
But he's saying like it's a shame that some of the voice actors have died. So you're not going to the voice is going to be slightly different, but it is what it is.
I mean, if they got a good chunk of the original voice cast to come back and do it again, that's still amazing.
And I think I will get Disney Plus back just for that. And I will remember to cancel it as soon as it's done if I'm not going to watch anything else on like Sherm.
Yeah.
Remember
that'll happen.
Remember Star Wars?
Yeah, they made a second season of that Star Wars garbage.
Oh God! Yeah.
So that second season though was done by a lot of different animation studios from around the world. This time they didn't just jailgate themselves to Japan. But I don't know the stories for them, so they could also be ass. But
I'll tell you right now, that first season of Vision's also garbage.
Well, I wonder if Disney was like, yeah, you got to do this. All right, so moving on from X-Men. Korea's been coming in clutch, apparently, according to the internet. So last season, Solo Leveling. If you looked online, you know that it's a big hit. Now, we have our own opinions that we'll talk about later about it, but Crunchyroll's new seasonal Korean anime viral hit, and this is what this guy says. Episode 2 of Viral Hit confirms it is
such an undeniable heavyweight contender for best series of the season.
Now,
get the fuck out of here.
That's a strong statement.
That is, he's coming in hot.
I've never heard of this.
Neither have I.
This is on Webtoons. This is one of the big ones on Webtoons, along with Solo Leveling.
Oh yeah, look at it.
So look at this JPEG right here.
Contender.
Called it a heavyweight contender. So
yeah, sure.
Like I mentioned earlier, I kind of wanted to watch this because it's about fighting, satirical commentary on social media, live streaming culture. I mean, these dudes just basically fight and they live stream it. They live stream the fights, and apparently he gets his ass whooped in the very first episode. Which,
I mean, looking at who he's fighting, yeah, I bet he got his ass kicked.
Apparently it's supposed to be realistic. I don't know though. I haven't read it. I don't know if I'll get to this season, but I might get to this at some point. But we trekked through Solo Leveling. We'll come back to that, but
yeah, we definitely got through it all right.
Will we come back to that? I'm not convinced.
No, we'll come back to our opinions on Solo Leveling.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
that season 2 better pop off. That's all I gotta say about that.
So classic manga and anime, City Hunter release date with cast and everything they know about Netflix's live action adaptation. Why do they keep doing this? This is an 80s
money.
This is an 80s manga and 80s anime, and they want to do a live adaptation.
Well, I mean, there's been plenty of stinkers, so the bar is kind of in the ground right now for live action adaptations for the most part. What are you
talking about? The new Avatar was so good, supposedly.
Oh yeah, everybody loved it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was great.
Do you think because of Avatar and One Piece, they're thinking this is viable? Like, we continue doing this, we will make a return?
I mean, I'm sure they'd probably keep attempting it anyway, but the fact that people really liked the One Piece one probably boosted morale to keep doing it. I
don't think this is viable. Like, they keep doing this, and some of those animes and mangas go forever. And even if it's like a 4-volume manga, like you do a Netflix adaptation, what are you like?
Season 16 of One Piece with all different casts is gonna go crazy.
By the time they get to like Wano, the cast will have been rotated like 6 times.
Like fucking the character of Luffy is gonna be like 40 fucking years old.
No, they'll just keep rotating them. So moving on from that, which I think is ridiculous. It's not like, stop doing live action adaptations. I'm just gonna continue to come back to news articles like that. Like, hey, this guy wants to do a live action. Anyways, so apparently Kaiju number 8 goes from 0 to 100 with a great first episode cliffhanger. Now, we watched episode 2 earlier. What did you guys think? Was it a great first episode cliffhanger?
It's a novel idea. I'm not sold on it yet.
I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I mean, like, there's nothing I dislike about the 2 episodes we've watched so far. I read the chapters from where we are right now, so I'm not seeing anything too new, but it wasn't bad.
I will say, day one, Kaiju number 8 readers. So, like, the art is great in the manga. The covers are great. The story is pretty serviceable. Production IG coming in. It looks beautiful, animated. It's very vibrant. I would say the way when he talks in his Kaiju form is weird. I'm not used to it yet. Are you guys?
So when we were watching the second episode together earlier, I did comment because I didn't know how the other boys felt about it, but the voice effect that our main character has when he's in his Kaiju form is a little grating to me. But I mean, as the show goes on, it might be something I get used to. So right now I don't like it, but it could be fine.
So how many episodes is this slated for? 12 or 24?
It might be 24. I would
go to the Annie chart.
Says 12 episodes from the page we're on right now.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, it needs to hook me by 12 episodes. Like, that's the only thing. It's a novel idea at this point, but it's not doing that much for me. We'll have to see.
I will say, if this was pretty ass, I would have dropped this a while ago, but I continue to read this, even though the mangaka takes a lot of break. I've said this before. He started this before Dan and Dan has surpassed him in chapters. Now, I don't know what this guy's like. I don't know what his I don't know if he has health problems. I don't know if he like has to take breaks, like what it is. But every now and then I have to let the chapters build up because I start to lose interest. So you kind of have a point, Sherm.
I don't know. You have to see where it goes. Like right now, it's just kind of like how I felt about solo leveling last season. Like, out of context of us watching it together, where we were kind of dogging on it a little bit, it just didn't do anything that new. And I don't know at this point if Kaiju number 8's gonna like bring it back around in 12 episodes. It definitely could. I'm not saying it can't.
Yeah, I mean there's still some build up from the end of episode 2 where things are probably gonna start picking up for sure. But yeah, once things do, it's gonna be crucial whether we actually like keep interest or not.
It also gives me, like, we watched Chain Soldier last season. It gives me that vibes a little bit. So we'll have to see. I'm not saying definitively one way or the other.
Now, I did have here that Spy Family, that movie, Code White, had no release date.
Yeah.
But the internet has been telling me that there was a release date, the 19th of April.
Yeah, I saw, like, when we went to the movies the other week, I saw a poster for it. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder...
It could have been the 19th. I'm not entirely sure. Like, if I was watching Spy Family or had watched all of Spy Family, what's currently out, I probably would have looked into it more.
Now, my thing is, like, I didn't see any promotions. I didn't even see our local movie theater like promote, like, well, obviously you don't see the local movie theaters promoting anything, but like I haven't seen like where I can go watch this. So that's one of the things where I was like, okay, so what, do I wait till it's on Crunchyroll or what?
I'm pretty sure me and Salem were like standing in the hallway and I pointed to it and I was like, I want to go see that, but I haven't watched Spy Family, so I don't know if I will.
Okay.
We definitely talked about it, Sherm and I, but yeah, I don't think I saw the poster, but I could have been looking elsewhere. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess it does have a release date, but it's probably only had like a 2-week showing, which is normally what happens with these anime movies.
I mean, I could look right now and see if it's in our local theater, because if it was the 19th, it'd still be showing this weekend.
So moving on from that, Inside Out 2 had a new image update. Now, did you guys even watch the first one?
Nope, I did not.
I liked the first one. It was like, what if your feelings had feelings?
I mean, I know the premise and I've seen clips from it, but like the people that are like, oh my God, we're getting an Inside Out 2, like, come on, dog.
I thought the first one was good. I really liked it, but I also feel like that was one of Pixar's. That was their last hurrah. Like that's the last movie where they can actually say like, this is the Pixar formula.
Yeah, Code White's showing in our theater.
Oh, okay. I might have to go watch
showing
it.
in our theater.
Yeah,
I'll have to go watch
check
that.
for next weekend.
I have to go see it at some point then.
Well, if we can go next weekend, that's what I'm looking at right now.
So it has a new image update. Now I don't know what Disney's doing with like image update. Like what the fuck? Like you're just gonna be like, hey, here's a new fucking Inside Out image.
Like, are you talking just like a screen cap or like something from a trailer? Like, what do you mean?
I don't think it'll be here next week.
Yeah, probably won't. Like I said, those are usually like,
Yeah, they're like a week run.
yeah.
I'll look up to a week from when it released and see what's still.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It might be this. Now there's like Bimbo in the back. Here's like another. Yeah, it's almost like a nothing. These two.
The last day we could go is on Wednesday for Code White.
Okay.
Wednesday's the last day.
Okay.
Guess I'll have to wait till it's on Crunchyroll.
But yeah, for Inside Out though, like I remember people talking about it and liking the film, but it just isn't for me, flat out.
I will say I like other movies, but Inside Out is a good one. But it's like if we're talking like top 10, it doesn't crack the top 10 for me in the Pixar like lineup. But I mean, it's still a decently good movie that came out of Pixar.
The only problem I have is people read way too into Inside Out, and it kind of weirds me out a little bit. Like, oh my god, I am so depression.
I was just about to say
am
the
just
whole
depression.
This is me
The
for real,
yeah, like
proud, yeah.
like I don't. It's a little weird for me.
Yo, the angry guy. That's
yeah,
me.
or it's
That's
like,
me.
oh, it's the dad, and his main one is anger because he's a man. I guess I don't know.
Hey, you're only gonna find that on Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, that's where you're seeing that, or Reddit. I don't know.
I don't know. People are fucking weird, man.
It's weird. Like I'm not looking at a Ryan Gosling fucking clip show and going like that's so me.
Oh,
That's
you're
so me.
not looking at it and being like, that's so relatable.
I'm not looking
That
at
is literally me.
I'm not looking at Ryan Gosling
his
from Blade
name's-
Runner 2024 and going that's so me.
His name's Ken.
But he's Knuff.
Sure.
Dude,
Did you watch Barbie?
yes.
No, I didn't watch Barbie.
It's good.
No, okay. Let's watch Oppenheimer.
I liked it.
Did you watch Barbie, Sherm?
No,
No? Okay.
I don't think I will.
I guess you're not Knuff to watch Barbie, huh?
Guess you might be right.
It's one of those movies where like if you don't watch it, you're gonna have this mental image of like it's supposed to be one thing, but once you actually watch it, you're like, huh, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
I've heard some things that make me go, maybe, probably not a movie I'd want to watch.
Okay. I did like when John Cena showed up.
Yeah, John Cena.
John Cena's in Barbie.
Wait.
Yeah. I like when John Cena showed up.
Are you sure he showed up?
Yeah, that was John Cena.
Are you sure it was?
Shang-Chi showed up for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Michael Cera was in there.
Oh, fuck Michael Cera, man.
It was a
Wait, I was
pretty
gonna say, were there any other wrestlers inside of Barbie?
No, he was just in the same city filming
Oh,
as Barbie. So
okay.
Margot Robbie was like, "Hey, John, do you want to be in our movie?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Well, all right. I was trying to rein
I
in
believe
and,
that's how the
maybe
story-
want to see it, but
I believe that's how the story goes. It might have been the opposite way, where John Cena went up to Margot Robbie. He's like, "Hey, can I be in this?"
No, you're right. Yeah, John Cena was there. Will Ferrell does his Will Ferrell thing where he just plays a character. He's loud and very funny. Let's see here.
Michael Cera, instant turn off for any movie.
Kate McKinnon.
Maybe that's why I don't like Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, because of Michael Cera.
It's very possible.
you just have like a strong distaste for him.
Yeah, because I've had people shout me down about what's the movie where they're trying to get drunk, trying to get beer.
Oh, super bad.
Yeah, like people shout at me about how much they like Superbad, and I'm like, I don't really like it that much. I don't know, like only the McLovin scene with the cops really does anything. Otherwise, I'm just like you were during Whiplash, where
Yeah.
it's the romance parts, and I'm like, oh, this is painful.
Okay, well, if that's how you're feeling, fair enough. I cannot blame
And
you.
like, yeah, Michael C. Both of them, just I don't get it, man. I
So-
didn't like Juno either.
I don't know how we got to Barbie from Inside Out too.
Probably saw
Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Ryan got. I'm just
Yeah.
Ken. Are you
Yeah,
Knuff?
Literally me.
Are you Knuff, Salem?
So
I think I am Knuff.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, I don't have the flashy jackets and stuff. I'm not there yet.
So moving from being Knuff, Wish already came to Disney Plus. I think 2-3 weeks ago. But this is something I learned. It was nominated for a Golden Globe. Have you guys heard the controversy behind the Wish movie?
Please tell me about it.
No, don't have any idea.
So apparently, like the animation is pretty mid. It's supposed to be a celebration of a lot of like what Disney movies of old were about. Like you wish upon a star kind of a thing, you know, because like their old movies are like it's about like it's either a wish or princess kind of a thing.
Jose, could you pull up a screenshot or some type of visual aid just so I can get an idea?
Yeah, because they all kind of look the same to me at this point.
Oh yeah, Chris Pine was in this movie.
I've never seen a thing from this in my life. I
This
have no
looks
idea what this
like
is about.
we're trying way too hard to recreate Moana or Frozen.
And this
So-
was a recent release?
This was a release from last year. I think it was around November, I think this movie came out. So a lot of people were saying that this movie's animation is absolutely trash. Now, a lot of other people were saying that that the animation was fine, but that the problem was is that if this is supposed to be a celebration of like a lot of what Disney is, the music was absolutely terrible. Now, I grew up with Disney Renaissance movies. I know you guys did too.
Right. Hercules is still my favorite.
Those songs are bangers. Even Sherm, you can say some of them are bangers, right?
Mulan is the bangerest of all bangers. So you can be wrong, Salem. It's okay.
Hey, man, look, Hercules is a great movie, man. It's a great movie.
I'll Make a Man Out of You is better than the entire Hercules movie.
But I like Mulan's songs more.
You're goddamn right. Make a Man Out of You solos fucking Hercules.
Do you also like Hercules, Sherm?
It's Heracles, not Hercules.
Oh.
I watched a video.
Oh, adjust glasses.
Don't mean to trot on your feet here, but
okay.
I watched a video.
Okay.
It's Hercules.
So wait, so I have a question.
Hercules, Sherm?
It's okay.
No, it's okay. Oh, okay.
I mean,
All
who
right,
was it?
fine.
The guy from Family Guy was 80s. He was pretty good. Something Wood.
James Woods?
James Woods.
Yeah,
he's great.
James Woods. Danny DeVito was Phil.
Good
Classic.
Good Lord.
Dude.
All right. So one of the things that people were bagging on this movie about was that this movie doesn't specifically celebrate like what Disney is because of the music. Now, I heard some of the music. It's pretty late 2018, mid 2022, like pop. And when I say pop, I'm talking like Dua Lipa. I know you guys don't listen to mainstream music, but
That's not true. I've heard of the Dua Lipa before.
okay. Well,
I have not listened to Dua Lipa before.
Why not?
That's a
She's
crime
got
against
some
humanity.
bangers.
I'm not aware.
She's got a
Okay.
couple bangers. I'm not going to say they're all
Okay.
bangers.
I would just say like recent pop music like that. So people were complaining that this music was not very representative of what Disney is because it was too mainstream pop. It was almost like they were trying to do like a Taylor Swift, a Dua Lipa. They were trying to do whatever was on the radio and being popular, and people just did not like it. So that's one of the then this movie was shitted on from the moment it came out. From the moment the trailer came out, people were going, okay, what's going on with this? Why is it being woke? The bad guy is a man, he's white, so obviously it's woke. The girl is, doesn't look white, so obviously it's woke. There's just so much about this that people hated on from the get-go. Now, to me, the character designs and like all that, it looks fine. I like them enough, but apparently the music just was not there and the story was not there.
I think you've given too much time to this already.
So a group watch of Wish next time, right?
No.
The fuck not.
No? Oh, okay.
But all I'm saying is that it was nominated for a Golden Globe, and I just want to know who nominated it for a Golden Globe.
This is the problem with all the film voting bodies. They have no idea what they're doing with animation. Let's talk about the time. Which one was it? Was it I Want to Eat Your Pancreas or Silent Voice lost to The Boss Baby? Like that told me everything I need to know about the film industry and animation.
I remember hearing about the Boss Baby shit, but was that seriously a nominee?
Yeah, the Boss Baby was a
And it
nominee.
won.
Are
Yeah, it
people
won.
okay?
No.
Are they doing
No.
all right? Oh, okay.
I don't think they just want. I don't think they want to like have.
And these are the same. Like literally, they'll give it to Miyazaki, and that's about it.
Oh, fantastic.
Because I'm
Okay.
pretty sure The Boy and the Heron won this year for Best Animated Film,
Yeah, I think it might have.
which it might not have had strong contenders running against it, but I think we all feel about the same, that The Boy and the Heron was fine as a movie. But
Yeah, it was fine. It was okay.
The Boy and the Heron.
But that makes me even more curious as to like what its like competitors were then, because like
you'd have to go back.
Yeah.
Which one was it? The Oscars or Academy Awards? I forget.
The film received Best Animated Feature and Academy Awards. Lost all 3 awards to Coco. Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, I watched Coco a couple times. I really liked that movie, so
Is that the one where they don't talk about Bruno?
No, Coco is Mexicans Have Feelings by Pixar.
Oh, is that the one where the boy makes empanadas just like his grandma used to?
No, he plays a guitar and he goes to like
I'm
the
pretty
underworld.
sure that happened in one of them Spaniard movies.
It might have been a different one. There's a couple of Mexicans Have Feelings animated movies.
Good.
Okay, so Boss Baby didn't win.
No,
Good.
it won at the
Wait.
Academy Awards.
Wait, did it say?
Yeah. Film
the
received Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards.
Man, what a
Annie
crock of
Awards and
nonsense.
Golden Globes, but lost all 3 awards to Coco. It says it lost all 3 awards. It received
This article makes no sense.
film Best Animated Feature.
Click on the Wikipedia link.
So it won Movie Guide Award, but it was nominated for an Academy Award, an Annie Award,
Maybe it
a
was
Golden
one of-
Globe.
I will say it does make me very happy that in all the results, like that tab there, it's just all red except for the one win and then all red again.
Movie Guide Award. All right. So
okay,
Boss Baby did not win. Good.
Good.
I'm glad. All right.
Either way.
So
Should have won over Silent Voice.
let's move on from Boss Baby or Wish. Zootopia 2 rumors. They say it's coming out, but they didn't say what's going on with it.
Those hentai artists will be eating good for the next few years.
Do you
But
think Shakira will be available after getting arrested or getting in trouble for tax evasion or tax fraud?
honestly, if you don't bring back the most important character, why are you having the movie?
Is it Idris Elba as the water buffalo?
I mean, I was talking about Shakira, but sure. Idris Elba was great in that movie. I don't know, like the movie was fine. It's one of those things again, like with Inside Out, where people have a feral love for that movie, and I'm like, it's good. I don't see any reason to look any deeper than that into it.
The only thing I know about Zootopia is all the degenerate art that exists on the internet. That's all I know.
Why
I was gonna
are all
say-
these degenerate photos in your like pics on Twitter? We'll never know.
I was going to say, do you think Zootopia 2 will
Look, they were not on my Twitter feed, okay?
Sure.
I just heard about them.
We
I
had
just
to
heard
go
about them.
deeper and darker to get those pics.
do you guys think
Curiosity, man.
Do you guys think Zootopia 2 will have new characters that will bring in new sources of deviant art?
Absolutely.
120%, my friend.
Without naming any names, do you guys Sherm, I know you do. Do you remember that one time we had that coworker come in and she was like, how do you draw, was it like a Squirtle spreading its butthole?
Oh, probably.
Don't name her.
No one knows who she is.
I just don't.
Jose,
I
knew,
didn't
I
say
knew
her
you were going to do
first name.
something as soon as he said the name.
I will get rid of it, but just don't name
I
anybody.
didn't say her first name.
I also don't name that coworker
Her
we work.
first name is Randy Marsh.
A mysterious unnamed coworker.
Okay, let's just leave it at that. I'm like people like her will start putting more pictures of gazelles and
I'm sorry, but where did this come from with Squirtles spreading their buttholes?
she just came in one day and said, how do you
She needed to know how.
just came in one day
Well,
and
she was
asked
she's a
like
practice,
That's the most specific request on the planet,
she's
frankly.
a practicing furry
Didn't even
artist.
pick
So,
Vaporeon.
yeah, bring
okay.
up the copy pasta.
Now
I'll read it right now.
I will as well. We'll read it together.
Exactly. Hell yeah, brother.
It's the closest in the egg type groups.
for the listeners, they just did a high five there. Okay.
It was the worst high five.
Yeah,
I've
it could have
ever
been
seen.
better. It was very flaccid, frankly.
All right, so let's bring that
Not
flaccidity and
after
make it.
watching Zootopia 2.
Heyo.
Let's get hard.
Ayo.
Let's get hard now. Keanu Reeves,
Oh.
Shadow the Hedgehog. What do we think?
Okay, was Idris Elba actually good as Knuckles?
I don't know. I haven't watched them.
You didn't watch the first one?
I want to watch them. I just
I
haven't
didn't
got
watch
around
the
to them.
first one either. Was it good?
They're both on Paramount.
I've seen clips from the second one that made Jim Carrey look good.
I don't know how I describe my relationship with like Sonic in general. I would be willing to watch it, honestly. I don't know if y'all are up
Ugly
for
Sonic?
watch of that.
We can.
Salem, when will you learn?
Yeah.
When will you learn that your actions
Have consequences.
Oh, dude! Shout out to Sonic Boy. Who knows what he's doing?
I don't care about Sonic. Sonic was never. I never owned a Sega machine, so I wasn't playing Sonic.
Same here,
That's
but
fair. Neither was I, frankly.
I think like when I was growing up, Sonic he was already third party.
The only thing I remember is that game with Escape from the City.
I think the cringe stuff from newer games is what captivated me, honestly. I don't know why.
Yeah, you really
But,
like Shadow with a gun.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
I don't know. It got
Um,
weird once they added all them characters too.
I can't remember what game it was. It was the Sonic game that you could play as your OC, I think.
Oh Lord.
And like I watched like some story cutscenes and shit, and I'm just like, this is weird, but like it got my interest peaked, and then every now and then I'll like read some stuff about it or whatever, just Sonic in general. So, but no, haven't watched the movies. Shout out to my favorite character, Infinite, from that said video game. And for our listeners, look up Infinite's theme song from that video game. It is some of the cheesiest like shit I've ever
No,
listened
look
to.
up
I love it.
Invincible. Do it right now.
No.
That's the banger song.
We gotta keep
no,
going.
No, seriously though, it's good.
I think it was Sonic Forces. I think that was the game.
Are we talking about the same thing?
No, we're not talking about the same
Are you
one.
sure?
No, because the song you had us listen to at one point was a banger, but
Yeah.
the game I'm thinking of that got me kind of interested in Sonic was Sonic Forces, because it had the character Infinite in it.
Okay.
Very edgy.
All right. So we should maybe watch the first 2 Sonic movies and then maybe watch Sonic 3.
I mean, if they're good or entertaining enough, yeah, I'm down for that.
I have no interest, but I'll suffer through, I suppose.
All right.
Jose and I will drag Sherm like screaming through at least the first movie.
Hey, you guys like Dune, but imagine trying to compare Dune and Sonic.
I liked the first one.
I didn't really like Dune too much. Dune 2 specifically.
You didn't like the Al-Qaib?
My name is Paul Al-Humadid Atreus.
As is written.
As it is written.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was more memeable than anything, Dune 2.
For sure. Like, at least you and me, Sherm, like, whenever, like,
As written.
as is written, we'd, like, do the hand motion in the theater.
I mean...
Okay, so moving on from
Oh,
Mr.
what?
Silverhand.
No, what the fuck was
looks
that?
awful.
So, okay.
What the fuck am I looking at?
So this is the new animated Transformers movie by Paramount. Witness the origin September 1st. I also
no,
got repulsed.
Ew.
absolutely not.
I was
Okay.
also repulsed by these Autobots. I don't like them.
Resident Transformers fan here. Hello. This looks like garbage. I'm
Give
sorry.
Michael Bay back the trilogy.
I think that's you know
No.
what? This
Honestly,
isn't
better
good.
than this.
This isn't good.
Correct. It is.
But
It is
don't
better
give it back to
animated
Michael.
than this.
Don't give it back to Michael.
Yeah, give it to literally anyone
Okay,
else.
well, give it to someone that's not going to make it this.
Okay, so
Scarlett Johansson.
Yep, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan Michael,
Keegan-Michael.
and Chris Hemsworth is
I
Mr.
hate it.
Optimus himself.
I hate it so much.
This is going to be fucking terrible.
This is the Mario movie all over again.
So, do we have like a plot synopsis or anything about
It's
this movie?
The untold origin of
Mario.
Optimus Prime and Megatron, better known as sworn enemies, but once were friends, bonded like brothers who changed the fate of Cybertron
Okay,
Is
forever.
that
So-
accurate?
Okay, so
I don't know.
I could get into it if
Can
you guys want
speak
to listen.
to the lore where they once friends?
I don't know, man.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Is
Yes,
that
I can.
spoilers?
Okay, so at least in terms of Transformers Prime, right? At least in terms of that. So I don't know if this is like remotely OG canon or if things were altered, whatever.
Yo,
but at least
Steve
in terms of
Buscemi's
Transformers
in this
Prime,
movie.
how it started out was Megatron was originally called Megatronus, and he was a gladiator in the fighting pits of Kaon, I believe.
I hate it.
It's cool. It's cool.
Sure,
Okay,
it's
I'm
cool.
not
you
convincing
just
him.
don't like giant robots.
Yeah, you don't like giant robots fighting in gladiatorial.
You're right.
arenas.
My favorite movie's not Pacific Rim. That's crazy.
Optimus Prime originally was called Orion Pax, and he was like an archivist.
Orion Pax right there.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, maybe they're getting into it then.
Why are
For
they
real.
doing this though? Why are they calling him like Orion Pax? We know that's Optimus Prime. Just call him Optimus Prime. Don't
It's
call
about
him
the
Orion.
build-up, man. It's about the build-up.
Don't call Bumblebee B127. Like, chill out.
Okay, so that Bumblebee, I don't know about. I'm a Decepticon supremacist, but at least in terms of Orion Pax, right? So I guess Megatronus, known at the time, was trying to like change the way of Cybertronian society, right? And I guess when him and Orion Pax, who was like, you know, kind of in agreement with Megatronus, he's like, hey, I like your ideas for this like revolutionary ideas and all that. Apparently, from what I remember, the Council of Cybertron liked Orion Pax's like statements and arguments more, and Megatronus was really butthurt about it.
Oh,
So he's like, all right, it's time for a forced revolution, bloodshed the works, and then he renamed himself Megatron.
So this is just
And when Orion Pax got the
is it the Spark?
No, not the Spark. The Matrix of
The
Leadership.
Matrix of Leadership.
He got
Let's
the Matrix
go.
of Leadership, and then was deemed a Prime, and then he became Optimus Prime. And
Do you
then,
remember?
You know, war happened.
Do you remember the Matrix of Leadership was in that second Transformers movie where
Remind me.
where Shia LaBeouf went to Autobot Heaven and they were like, "Hey, Shia LaBeouf, you're like the best Autobot ever. Go back.
Shia LaBeouf, you're the best Autobot.
You're the best Autobot.
You're
but,
worthy of the Matrix.
but you're not Autobot Jesus. That's reserved for Mark Wahlberg." Ugh.
Yeah, Wahlburgers himself. Yeah.
So yeah,
So in summary, if that's roughly what they're saying about this film, then I guess it makes sense. But the animation looks so
Yeah,
bad.
the
yeah.
dog.
designs I don't like them.
look at the designs again.
I don't like the design.
Oh no.
Brian Tyree Henry's gonna
Like-
be playing Megatron, I guess.
I don't like these designs at all. I don't know.
I don't either. I like Transformers. I've delved into Transformers lore. I even have the IDW, like, I think 2014 run, like the first 2 volumes back there. And it does tell like Megatronus in the fucking battle arena, something like that.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So,
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
and then like the voice cast, I like Brian Tyree Henry. I like Keegan Michael Key. Look, even Steve Buscemi's in here as an
Oh,
unnamed
cool.
role.
That's cool.
Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, John Hamm, and Lawrence Fishburne, our favorite. Our favorite
Oh, he's gonna play
Samuel.
Alpha Trion? Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne is our favorite Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Have you guys ever seen that clip?
No.
I don't think you should go on though. I think we'll just scoot on past that.
So, but yeah, I mean, in summary, at least in terms of like how I feel about it, I might watch it out of curiosity, but I just do not like these designs. I don't think the animation's probably going to be great, but I am interested in the origin story. They at least got me on that to like see it animated.
Who owns Transformers?
Hasbro.
Hasbro? Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. Yeah.
They now own they now also own Transformers. I mean Power Rangers.
I would like to just warn you, they have been running everything they own into the ground, so this is no surprise to me.
I am aware.
Yeah.
I'm let down just by looking at it, so I mean, I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Just ask some of the Magic the Gathering community. They will tell you, the D&D community will tell you, like, Hasbro is ruining everything. I'm pretty sure their CEO just resigned the other day.
Haven't they been cycling through CEOs? Like,
I mean, it's possible.
Delightful.
It's a sinking ship, to say the least.
I'm so happy to know that a property that I care about a lot is in their capable hands.
Well, Salem, we do like Konami, don't we?
Oh, we love Konami. Oh, yeah, they're my favorite.
Yeah. Remember when they ruined Yu-Gi-Oh?
Dude, I've been mildly keeping up on the Yu-Gi-Oh scene. Man, it's so fucking
Link
tiring.
Haribo forbidden.
That's true, actually, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Forbidden. Baron de Fleur.
Don't
banned.
worry, we have...
Barrel Load Savage Dragon, banned.
These don't seem like the cards that are the problem.
It doesn't seem that way, no. I mean, people were thinking that, like, Dragon Link was catching strays from this ban list because it took away Savage Dragon.
You see they put Malicious back to 3.
I did see that. People were making a lot of memes about bricking on 3 Malicious.
But we lost Armageddon Knight, I believe. Or Armageddon Knight went to 1. One of the two. It was either
listeners,
that
I
or...
have no
I think
idea
it
what they're
went to
talking about.
2.
It was either that or Greffer.
Which
Hey, you dump your Malicious.
I'll need to look at that another day. Oh, yeah. You have one more opportunity to dump up Malicious with Armageddon
Exactly,
Knight.
yeah. For foolish
All right.
burial.
Jose wants us to move on, so we're moving on.
Well,
It's very
no.
clearly.
I can't, like, I don't know what you guys are saying. You guys are saying Savage Dragon, and all I think is of Image Comics and the green guy with the giant fin on his head.
Yeah, we should watch Arc V again. That thing was pretty lit.
I will watch Arc V again.
Yeah, we should do that.
If you guys want to do that as a topic, I will watch Arc V just to be like, yeah.
No,
so they wrote.
No, you won't.
I'll watch.
It's
no
too,
me.
If it's for this,
too long.
if it's for this, I'll watch it.
All right, it's like 150 episodes.
It is a bit of a commitment, yeah.
Okay.
Also, you would probably not care for any of the references because they're other series you haven't watched.
I mean, I'd probably want to kill myself, but I'd get through it just for this. Don't worry.
Look, man,
I love
when
you
a
guys.
Revolver summons Barrel Load Savage Dragon, it's going down.
Okay, so on to the main topic. We committed to 3 animes last season, and we met up every day for a little over 12 weeks.
We did not meet up every day.
We met up
listeners.
every Saturday.
We met up every Saturday.
We did not meet up every Saturday.
There might have been
there were a
1 or
couple
2
breaks.
times.
Yeah, every now and then we wouldn't meet up, but we would come back and watch Solo Leveling, Gushing Over Magical Girls, and Chain Soldier. Now, I want to start with Solo Leveling. Should I put a pop-up menu here so we can all like get on the same page?
We all need 4 separate pop-ups happening, and they need to disappear super fast as well, so we can't read what they're saying.
Okay, so I didn't pull up any reviews ahead of time. I wanted to do this in real time.
I got it.
So
I'll look them up real quick.
So what were our opinions on Solo Leveling? Like, we all had our opinions, but say it so that it can be recorded and it can be put on into the ether.
You go first, Salem.
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, all right. What was the question again? I'm just kidding.
This is 8:33.
Wait, I'm sorry.
8:33 on my anime list.
Brother.
Yep.
Okay, so first off, let me just say, the only person in this room, unless you've read it at some point, Sherm.
Nope.
The only person in this room that has read the manhwa for Solo Leveling is Jose. And at least from what I remember, it sounded pretty decent, if not pretty good. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jose, but
I liked it.
so, we went into this fairly blind. And I wanted to like it and I wanted to be interested in it, but like there were some weeks where we'd all get together and I couldn't remember what happened in previous episodes just because it felt like the runtime was just washing over me. Like it just felt like nothing was really happening, but yet things were happening, that kind of vibe, if you know what I mean. I'm very mild on it. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever. I wouldn't call it exactly trash, but I wouldn't rate it a fucking 8.3.
You got real hyped when Igris showed up, though.
Yeah, it's true. I did get hyped when Igris popped up.
So I have similar feelings. I watched a couple episodes when we either to be ahead of when we were watching together or like when we didn't get together, and I just wanted to be caught up for the week. Honestly, I think it's such a 5 or a 6 that there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's following very similarly to like an isekai, except it's not really an isekai, I guess. It's just pretty bland for me. The pop-up menu thing kind of gets to me, but I realize that's just like a Korean thing. They do it a lot in Korean manhwas. So it's fine. It's a 6. Maybe the manga or the webtoon is 10 times better, and that's probably why people were excited, but this didn't do anything.
I did see an article a while back that said something to the effect of hey, why did they remove all the funny cartoony faces and stuff from it? And apparently they had an explanation, but I didn't care to read it. I did feel like that was a bit missing. Like every now and then some of the characters would make like really funny, outrageous, or not outrageous, but more like something you'd see from like a cartoon rather than an anime. Like they make those kind of faces.
Talking about like the chibi kind of thing, or
not even.
No,
like they just be like kind of exaggerated human proportional face.
Kind of like the Demon Slayer faces.
No, here, let me see if I can pull up a.
Oh, we're talking about like the eyes, kind of like the white with the black outlines, that type of thing.
These, like these. Just kind of like a whatever kind of cartoon, kind of almost.
I feel like it was serious up for some reason when it didn't necessarily need to be. Like at no point was there any brevity to it. It was just like everything is always super self-serious. There was no like lightness to it at all.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things that was missing from it, because Solo Leveling really does kind of it's not that overly serious. Like it gets overly serious and you laugh at it, not with it, because you're kind of like, dude, chill out. Even in the manhwa, because you're kind of like, okay, relax. You're like this guy says, he most certainly is solo leveling. I love the part where he soloed all over the levels. So, if that doesn't tell you what kind of people are watching this.
Yeah, this is for your shonen bros, your Attack on Titan fans of the world.
But do you see this? There's a couple of people going not recommended, mixed feelings. And then the guys you have that are recommended are just kind of like, yeah, I really like it.
Well, you got to think too, right? Like some of the people that are probably giving it like perfect scores, or probably some of the people that are giving it like these 8s or 9s or stuff like that, are probably people that also read the manhwa as well, right? And they're seeing something they love that was written, transformed into animation, and they want to keep loving it, maybe.
Well, I mean, Phil Collins didn't like it.
You know how long it took me to realize that main poster there? You gotta go back. Like that main splash image was just him twice.
Oh, the one where it's him before he's hot and then him when he's hot.
Yeah,
it giga hot.
I think it literally took me till the last episode to look at that and go, oh my god, it's just him twice.
Sherm, I never noticed that until you pointed that out.
Yeah, well, you didn't miss much. Just like if you skip this, you wouldn't miss very much.
Well, kudos to whoever drew up the poster image for the show.
I guess if I'm going to give you a recommendation, it's maybe just go read the webtoon instead of watching this.
Now, for me, it's really weird. Like, I did, like, you see the reviews and a lot of people are like, nah, I don't know. Nah, not really. Well, maybe that's just like what comes up top. But then this is a score of 8.33.
And since we're on the topic of numbers, because Sherm gave his, and I didn't really give mine. And, again, with my thoughts on the show, I hate sounding like a complete fence sitter, but it was like a hard 5 for me, dog. Like, wasn't garbage, was not super engaging, at least for me. So
the only thing holding my score up to a 6 is that it did some pretty good animation at some points. Like overall, yeah, it'd be a 5, but like you gotta work really hard to get a 5 for me, dog. Because there's like a certain level, like a baseline. If it's above that baseline, no matter what, I'm gonna give it higher than a 5.
I was looking to see if Chart had any reviews that we could look at. Not really.
Usually, yeah. Well, I mean, no, hit control shifty. If you look, don't scroll over it. Jose.
Oh, 83%.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But it was the number one most viewed thing on.
Oh, and I have no doubt that's the case.
I mean, no.
Oh,
Or
yeah. Let's
not
put
good.
that.
It's the boy.
Let's put that away.
Yeah, let's shove that back down.
I mean, see, I would trust people on.
We're talking about Ninja Kamui, by the way.
I would trust people on any chart over people on my anime list because these are people that are so into it. They're like going, like, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the season, there are people ranking these ones. Like,
You're absolutely right.
These people like are either knee deep in every one of these shows, mangas, or
Oh, they said Kingdom 5th season, 84%.
pretty good apparently. Maybe
so
it is.
that Shaman King like reboot or whatever. Is that,
Where is it? Do you see it on here?
Shaman King Flowers right there.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Shaman King
63%.
That's how you know it's good quality.
So, I mean, all in all, I agree with you guys. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm like at a 6.5. I'm disappointed that it's not as good as I wish it was. It could have been better. The manga is obviously, I had a lot of fun with it that I knocked it out in almost like a day. But yeah, I mean, the anime, I would also tune out of it every now and then.
This also might have benefited more from a 12 episode or like a 24 episode run instead of just 12. Because from what people say, it gets better once he becomes the Shadow Monarch and becomes a necromancer.
Ah, yes, the Shadow
So,
Monarch.
like,
wakey.
I'm going to assume that anyone listening to this at this point has watched it, but at the end, that's kind of what happens. He becomes the Shadow Monarch. He gains a new role being a necromancer. Like, that could be cool. And in another 12 episodes, maybe I would have been more into it. But leaving off where it did, it just was like, kind of feels like the calm before the storm, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that's where people are really into it. I don't know.
For the next two shows, we've already spoiled it. Sorry about that. But for the next two shows, we're also going to spoil them. We're going to be under the assumption that you might have like watched these already. And if you didn't, then don't listen.
I'm sure out of the three shows, the safest we could have started off with the solo leveling for people watching it.
To be fair, I'm not going to talk much about the plot of either of the other shows for obvious reasons.
So what would we say? An aggregate of like a 6?
I mean, Sherm's at around the 6 area. I'm more at the 5 area, and you said you're about 6.
6.5.
5.5.
So about
maybe.
6, I guess.
6. Okay. So
garbage.
6.
Don't watch it. Read the webtoon.
All right. But moving on, gushing over magical girls. What do we think?
This was, I'd have to look. I'm pretty sure I felt about a 6 when we finished.
Well, I mean, Jose, since you've read the manga and all, do you want to start us off with this one?
Okay, so Maho Shoujo ni Ako. How do you say that? Sure. How do you say that?
Just say gushing over
Maho
magical
Shoujo
girls.
ni Akogarete. There we go.
Yep.
Akogarate.
This one, which in like the manga is like in Japan is called I Admire Magical Girls, and that's how it ends. Or gushing over magical girls. That's all the names we got. Don't worry, that's it. I started reading this.
Up to magical girls. That's all I'm gonna say.
I started reading this back when it was at maybe 14 chapters, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty lit." It's a pretty dumb magical girl type of a thing. And then I told our homeboy, BB, hey, you should read this, and he was like, it's really good. And I knew he liked it. So I would always tell people like, hey, if there's any manga you should read or like anything, read this one. They're magical girls. The main girl is a bad guy, but it's pretty fucking dumb. They have almost shonen levels of power-ups and Super Saiyan, but it's also super fucking ecchi and like it borders on hentai. And in the manga itself, there isn't that much, like there is no nipple play. Like you don't see nipples, but in the show, full on nipples. So, I mean, if you're into that, go look at it. Now, Mal gave it a 7.71. What do you guys think that's accurate? Would you lower that a little bit?
I was at a 7.
Honestly, I think I ranked
7.
it at like a 7 or an 8 myself. I'd have to look at my Mal again, but yeah, I think it's fine where it is 7.7.
In my personal opinion, I still give the manga a 10 just because I like it so much. But for the anime itself, yeah, probably a 7 or 8. I didn't like that the animation was basically done by, just pump out a fucking anime studio that's just like a kind of nothing studio. They have a pretty generic and bland art style. It looks like everything and anything. And I will say Utena didn't really look like herself to me. So I think I just had like major problems with that the whole show. That Utena just didn't look like she did in the manga.
Yeah, you said like the hair was different, right? Like the way it's shaped.
I don't even know why I had that big of a issue with the hair, but yeah, it was like her hair doesn't really look like it does in the manga. But aside from that, I loved seeing Alice come to life. I was just as annoyed with Kiwi as I am in the manga. So I was like, this is pretty 1-to-1. There's nothing else you could do. Seeing Azul be a fucking masochist. I mean, a masochist, right?
Masochist, yeah.
It's funny. Seeing Magenta just be oblivious and seeing Sulfur,
my beloved. Yeah.
Sulfur just being a badass. I loved it. It was great. I had fun with it, and I think you guys said you guys had fun with it.
Oh yeah, I actually just checked my mouse score while you were talking about it. I gave it an 8. I really enjoyed it. It was a very fun ride, honestly. The endless Twitter screenshots killed me.
You'll never guess what Japan did this week.
You're never gonna guess. Can you believe this?
They did this to the small children again.
What is a little concerning is like canonically they are like middle schoolers. The oldest, I think one of them is like maybe 15, and then Alice is like obviously an elementary schooler. But at least the lolly didn't get sexualized.
She did.
When she was an adult, right?
But
that's correct.
She was an adult form, and I think like that is a weird like splitting hairs thing. It's weird to begin with, but I'm glad we didn't see her naked, I guess.
This is the problem I was talking about earlier with the Japan being obsessed with school kids, or like writing them so that way the school kids think it's like honestly I think
the self-insert kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
I think
Moist in high school or whatever.
Moist Critical made a great video on this. It's like, do they have to be school kids? I mean, obviously that's what the writer wanted to write, and I'm not going to tell him he's wrong, but like there's a lot of things like this, maybe not this exactly, but there's a lot of things where it could just be like, do they have to be school kids? Like, do any of these shows not work if they're not school kids? I don't know. It's just like a personal issue. And then when you get into like ecchi, it's like when you're sexualizing a younger person, it's like you get really in the weeds because, you might find character attractive, but then fucking random dude on Twitter's like, she's 15. And it's like, okay, but if she was older, would it matter? Like, I don't know. You get so in the weeds with the like sexualizing of characters under a certain age.
Sure.
Because it's like, okay, like it says she's 15, but like if you view that character as like older and more mature, is it still weird? And that's when it's like, I don't know. It's just a horny show. You just want to watch the magical girls get beat up and like
it all comes back to too as well. It's like, keep in mind this is a work of fiction. These are drawings, that type of thing.
Yeah, it gets really like in the weeds, especially when it's like a smaller character too.
I think half the time I was reading this too, I wasn't going like, oh, but these are 15-year-old girls. I was just going like, this is on the level of Dragon Ball, of dumbness. Utena's obsessed with the magical trio and she wants to be their villain. Kiwi's obsessed with Utena, and then Alice she just wants to play.
She's just vibing. She's just trying to have a good time, play with her dolls.
Literally, she could not care at all.
And then there's the action scenes where like they actually get into like fights and stuff, and it's a good fight. Like I really like the fights. I won't say they're Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 levels of fights, but I will say for what this show is going for, it does it well. I mean, I think it's the only one kind of doing it, but
it's just weird.
It is weird when you're like when you remember and you're like, oh, but they're 15
or younger in some cases.
Yeah.
It's so annoying because it's the like default argument of anyone when you try and bring up stuff like this. It's like, you might really enjoy this or you might get something out of this. And they're like, yeah, but they're sexualizing the girls and that's weird.
It's been an endless discussion. It probably will continue to be an endless discussion until the end of time.
It's like you could... the next show we're going to talk about, Chain Soldier, it's like, do they state their ages? Are they underage? Does it get weird there too? It's like, who cares, man? It's just ecchi. Just watch it. If you don't like it or you think that it's morally questionable, fucking don't watch it. That's all there is to it.
See, because when I'm watching this or reading this, I'm not thinking like, oh my God, Utena's going to spank a 15-year-old girl's butt. I'm going, Utena's going to take out her demon girl form, and then she's going to take her whip and fucking turn a bunch of plants into demons that are going to, because
Shout
her
out
whole
to Bondage Plant, the second best character, by the way.
because her whole thing is that she's a sadist and she likes S&M. Like, that's her whole thing. Kiwi's thing is that she must be into military stuff, but she doesn't say anything. Alice is obviously a rip on Alice in Wonderland. And then the magical girls are just magical girls, Then there's Loco Musica and then the Shadow Girl. Like, Loco Musica carries around a mic, and then the Shadow Girl is just like always trying to hide in the background. Like, that's what the characters are, and that's their powers. That's what they do. And, it's like, hey, I'm really enjoying this. But then you have to have a Twitter comment point out, okay, but they're like 14. All I'm doing is enjoying a really funny and dumb show. Okay, but they're 15. It's like, just stop.
And, I'll say, at least for me, when it comes to this, or like Chain Soldier, whatever, like, yeah, the ecchi's there, it is what it is. But like, the only thing that keeps me like watching or reading these types of shows is unironically what's happening in the story.
And it only gets better from here. Like, I've read ahead. I've been reading this week to week, and there's just it just gets so much more ludicrous and just so goofy that you just continue to read, because it's just, and obviously you saw that beach episode where like they don't know that they're the bad guys or magical girls. So like, that's a fun aspect of it. But you're not going over here like, oh my God, these like middle schoolers, what is going to happen? Like, just enjoy this dumb story. Like, it's weird that they are so young. Like, I don't like that aspect myself, but I do like the dumbness of it. Now, I will say, for me, the manga has been and will probably stay a 10 unless the, ending is bad, which is what happens with a lot of these animes and mangas. But I will say, for now, this first season, for me, was a solid 8 as well. Like, I really liked it. The manga, 10, obviously. I really like the art style. I like the artwork. I like everything about it more than I did the anime, I think. I liked it more than the anime.
So we got an 8 for the anime adaptation from Jose. I also gave it an 8 as well.
7.
7 from Sherm?
So
Yeah.
Should we do a
7.5? Sounds great. 7.75 if you want to get real technical.
Well, we could do, what was it, 7.71 on...
Just 7.5 good enough.
Chain Soldier. Not as good as the manga, in my opinion. What about you guys?
It's a 6.
So, just as a little background, right, of course. So, Jose and I have been reading the manga. Sherm, you started reading the manga some time ago.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't really read anything in it recently.
So Jose and I are the closest to being caught up, if not completely caught up. I'm probably like 4 or 5 chapters behind at this point, simply because it's bi-weekly and I kind of want to let it stretch out a little bit. But, at least for me, as someone that read the manga, I really enjoyed it. Jose was the one that showed me about it initially, and it caught my interest. And before I knew it, as soon as I got off work, I'd pop open my phone and just binge read as much as I could, and just kept doing that until I was caught up with it. So I really enjoyed
One Piece.
Well, maybe one
What?
day.
Who said
Maybe
that?
one day.
Oh, I wonder who, Sherm.
Could have been anyone.
Yeah, could have been anybody.
Could have been the cat.
But so like I was binge reading this stuff as soon as like I was shown it. So I really love the manga. But for the anime, like we've all been saying, it just feels kind of, I don't know, bland.
Feels like it was made back in the 90s. It's got like a super muted color palette, in my opinion.
Like in terms of like, the story and everything, like as far as I can remember, because of course this is like the beginning of the story, I think the story beats were connected with the manga. I don't really think they cut anything out or anything necessary, but it wasn't that interesting of a watch, and I can't fully place on for myself if it was just simply because I've read the manga or what, but it wasn't hyping me up. I didn't freak out when I saw things I know from the manga. Like, I gave it, I think, a 6 is what I gave it. It was fine. It was all right.
6.5. So yeah, just round it out to a 6. This honestly was very disappointing for me, because this was one of the few things I was excited for, and then I'm just watching it and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not caring enough in my opinion, when I started reading it, it went from 0 to 100, and it's the same thing with, like I've said before, with One Piece. The One Piece manga for me went from 0 to 100 and it never stopped. Every now and then I would have to take breaks for my own mental health, because I'm like, holy shit, this is just way too long, but I keeping at it. It's the same thing with this. This goes from 0 to 100 and you're just like, you just want to keep going. You just want to keep going.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, honestly. Yeah, because like the manga, like stuff's always happening. Like they're not really, bullshitting around too much. Like the story is just like going,
And it felt like in this show, like this show just felt like they would stop at times. Like just everyone would just be like, all right, now let's just chill.
Everything felt a lot more drawn out, I think.
Yeah. It almost felt like maybe 2 chapters could have been like 2 to 3 chapters could have been fit in here. And they decided to go with like, well, let's just do 1.5 or 2 chapters in an episode. It's like, yeah, we might have been cramming too much had we done 3 chapters, but it also felt so slow, I would say. And I don't know if that's because of how they wanted to like, where they wanted to end the season. Because you guys, where we end the season at.
Yeah, this could.
Do you guys even remember?
Nope.
The ending? Frankly, no. I cannot remember what the last episode even had.
It's like right before they go to meet all the other captains. I can't tell you what happens. I just remember the captain's meeting, and that was it when I started reading it.
Well, they went through with the stuff with Aoba, who is Yuki, the main character's older sister, and there was some conflict with his older sister Aoba and her 2, I guess, like you could call them partners or associates, whatever you like.
And remember, spoiler alert, they got kidnapped, and
they did. That's what the ending was. Yeah, they were setting up for should I say? Should I not?
I mean, we've said that we're gonna spoil these things, so if they didn't watch them last season or they want to get to them later, they need to stop listening. Yeah, they stole them. They kidnapped those 2, and then they're gonna be turned into an egg or something.
Yeah, I'll just keep my mouth shut on what could happen in the next season. But they're setting things up, and it just
Chain Soldier just not hitting it.
Read the manga. I mean, like, for anyone who hasn't read the manga and they just like gave the anime a shot, just read the manga, give it a go, and just see if it interests you. Because I mean, shit, like Jose and I, like, we're pretty much up to date, if not, and it's good.
I think these last 3, our last 3, like opinions and closing opinions have been just read the manga or manhwa. Just don't bother with these
Literally.
shows. Like, okay, so somebody like Sherm who doesn't read, like, what do you think?
You could just watch One Piece. It's pretty good.
Watch One Piece?
Or read it, either one. Whatever you need to do to get through it, man.
Okay,
I'm not picky.
No, but we're saying like these shows and everything that comes out every season. Like we picked 2 shows this season that we're watching, and we're probably gonna review them once they're done. But like what is it exciting? Are we burnt out? Like, what's going on? Are we too critical?
I think Chain Soldier was just a miss on the animation, and I think Solo Leveling would have benefited from us watching individually or not watching at all.
Straight up, I think we're in the right headspace for Solo Leveling and Chain Soldier, at least.
Gushing Over Magical Girls, obviously, I enjoyed it. So
very good.
I could read the manga, but it's not something that I'd be interested in reading week to week.
It's monthly, but the author's on hiatus right now.
Either way, yeah. I wouldn't feel like anything from reading that every month it came out or whatever.
I mean, and those were the 3 that I basically went, dudes, like these are good. And then they just kind of felt like a wet fart.
I know. I was super excited for like the anime adaptation of Chain Soldier. I mean, that's why I was also rushing to read it as well, is because the anime was going to be coming out and I wanted to know everything going on. And then we watched it, and yeah, it was all right.
It's like 86 for me, now that I think about it more.
Remember when I told you like 86 is not worth it and I wouldn't go back?
It was worth it to finish it.
You watched all of 86?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't. I stopped after the midway season. I was like, this is stupid.
Was it just too boring, or
it was so self-serious?
I enjoyed parts of it. It was like, looked cool, and then you got in and you were like, this is a slightly lower level than I was originally expecting. It's the exact same as Chain Soldier. It's like I went in with high expectations. They weren't like, it wasn't awful. It was just like slightly below where I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
So, but 86 according to Mal, 3.80.
Isn't the main guy's like codename Reaper?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. There were like little bits and pieces that I was like slightly annoyed with, but overall I enjoyed it.
And the second part is 8.
No, even higher.
70. Yeah. So, I mean, people liked it, but you didn't like Ragna Crimson. And there are people
he
that...
loves Ragnar Crimson.
Look, I have my relationship with Ragnar Crimson's very complicated. I think it is bad,
7.56.
I also have a fascination with it. So, I bought some of the manga for it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's in deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the whole damn thing.
Wow. Okay, well, that is all to say that we watched these shows last season. We picked 3, and according to AniChart, the number 1 show last season was Solo Leveling. Second place to Classroom of the Elite, Mashal in third, the Hungry Dungeon one.
Okay, Shroom's he's in. He's in.
Turned around. He saw Trigger. He turned around.
Dungeon
Never
Meshi.
said
Let's
anything
go.
against it. I just didn't know Trigger made it.
Yeah,
so
we haven't watched it together or anything.
and then number 5 is probably a romance. 6 is the
Yubisaki to Renren.
And then look at that. 7 is Chain Soldier. What is this? A soccer one? I don't know. Ninja Kamui. Let's bury that.
Sorry, you said there was a soccer one. There's also like an anime, like not an anime, Animal Girl in there too.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
I don't.
I'm a little curious now.
In order to walk from into a journey or something.
An epic journey, and suddenly being dropped into another world with 2 fellow students who sought to learn he was summoned there by accident.
Okay, it's an isekai. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm good, homie.
All right, so I really like this one, The Dangers in My Heart. I watched this by myself, and I really like the manga. I really like how well the anime is done. Another one I read, but I just didn't watch last season was Hokkaido Gals Are Cute or whatever it's called in English.
I read I think the first 5 chapters of that or something. It was all right.
I got up to maybe 30 something, and I kind of just stopped because then it became a harem, and I was like, oh.
Wait, it becomes a harem.
Well, they're all like, he gets multiple love interests, and I'm just kind of like, ugh.
All right.
Here's a vampire one.
Vampire.
And then we're just in the weeds of it after that. So bunch of stuff I haven't heard of. Look at Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is down here at 16.
How long has it been between when they last aired anything Blue Exorcist?
I couldn't even tell you, man. And then last season map, I had something called Buchigiri. I don't even know what this is. I'm sure a year in, we're going to hear nobody watched this underrated one.
Oh, this hidden gem. Oh, Hime-sama Gaomon no Jikan desu. Yeah, so, fuck. That's something I might want to read at some point, because I watched a video talking about the general plot, and it seems kind of fun.
I have this saved on my Jump Plus, but I just...
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but I just haven't read it, or... Yeah.
'Tis Time Princess, or 'Tis Time for Torture, I believe is the
English
name, something like that.
And then there's just a bunch of other stuff here. Somehow, I don't know if this is a carryover. Kingdom 5th season, but or whatever. Freeing was left
Ragnar
over.
Crimson, let's go.
Ragnar Crimson, Shangri-La. This one's basically Sherlock and a historical.
Jose, for the listeners, which anime are you talking about?
I don't know the name in English. The Apothecary Diaries. That's what it is. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit left over.
When are we watching Firefighter Daigo?
Yeah,
when are we watching that?
Apparently, that's from that's a manga from the 80s. Apparently.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Dude, every time it pops up, I just get a little curious. Just what's going on here? Having hot firefighter guys sounds nice, but is it just slice of life? You know what I mean?
But I don't know. To end this out, that's really all we did last season for anime, is we just watched those 3 shows, and then I watched some stuff on my own. I don't know about you guys.
In terms of us watching stuff together, those were the 3 shows that we did watch. And I mean, liking 1 out of 3 of them isn't that great to report on, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't watch anything else from that season.
2 out of the 3 of them didn't hit. The other one did. I feel almost nothing reading any of those mangas, so I don't know. Kind of a lackluster season for me.
Same. I kind of felt the same way. This season, there's supposed to be a Blue Lock movie, a Code Geass movie,
Gross.
Oh no.
Ochi the Rock
Let it die.
recap.
Leave Code Geass alone. The ending was fine
I don't
originally.
even think Lelouch in that one.
The only thing I think will be of any note might be this Trapezium one by Cloverworks, but
I saw some clips of I don't know, like if did they make a movie or another season or something of
Yeah,
Code
they made
Geass?
a movie.
I saw some clips of like Lelouch, and I guess like he fucking lost his memory or some bullshit, and it's just like,
That might
dude,
that might be from season 2.
no, it wasn't season.
Okay, there was a brief arc where he lost his memory.
Oh yeah, they did that again. Yeah, either way, it's pointless. Leave Code Geass alone.
all right.
Yeah,
Well, that's all to say that that's really the topic for this week. Now, I want to stress that we're not going to be, not every week we're going to be doing like a specific show or movie or anything like that, but we will be talking about some stuff, and this is just some stuff I kind of wanted to like show you guys. So we can talk about like specifically manga publishers, and I just kind of give you a rundown of what they're about, and you can ask me questions, and then if you have your own questions, I can tell you like, hey, this is what's going on with these guys. Kind of like this is a manga publisher. Chogakukan. They're the same thing as Shueisha and how do you say this one? Baker.
Kodansha.
Yeah, same thing with this guy. I don't know how to say this one.
Yeah, Hakusensha.
Yeah, so they're, sometimes we'll talk about just Hakusensha. It might not be very interesting, but at least you'll get some background as to how Berserk came about, which that's also kind of a horse in and of itself. If you get it. Or we can talk about like shonen. Shonen is a very broad term in terms of like manga and anime. So seinen, magical girls, shoujo, mecha, isekai, harem, josei, slice of life, ecchi, martial arts. These are genres specifically, but we won't always talk about just a genre. Like right here, I'm talking about like, hey, we can talk about anime video games like Genshin. We don't have to talk about Punishing Gray because I'm the only one who plays this. Scarlet Nexus or Shin Megami Tensei.
Yes.
Just stuff like
yes.
Just stuff like this, like there will always be a topic. Final Fantasy beginning with 7 because that's really when it became very anime-y.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Anime that it spawned video games. Sword Art, Naruto, Dragon Ball. There's so many Dragon Ball games. Attack on Titan has video games.
Yeah,
One
it has
Piece games.
2, if I remember right, at least.
Video games that spawned animes. There's a Devil May Cry anime.
Devil May Cry.
Steins Gate is considered a great anime, even though it spawns from a visual novel. Fate Stay Night. Originally,
man, when we talk about Fate, that's gonna go hard.
Pokemon, and then anime studios. We could talk about Production IG, who's doing Kaiju number 8 right now. Mappa, Trigger, Cloverworks, pumping out just a low quality anime studio. How do you say this one?
Kuro.
Yeah, we can. And then I have a fascination. I'm big with comics. I know these two aren't, but I can bring up indie comic books. I could bring up Marvel, and then what you guys know, and then I could just kind of go about it. Netflix animated originals and stuff like this, like Arcane. It's acquired by Netflix, but it's not an original they requested. Same thing with Nimona. This was originally made by Disney, I think, or DreamWorks. They dropped it at some point. Netflix acquired it. And then, Big Mouth. You guys can tell me how much you guys loathe Big Mouth.
I want to.
I'm not talking about Big Mouth, Jose.
I want to talk about how bad this thing is.
Absolutely.
I want to trash
brother.
it. Masters of the Universe Revolution, this kind of thing. Castlevania. One of the best animated things I think I've watched in the last 10 years.
How dare you put Record of Ragnarok, my beloved, on this list?
You can tell us about this. This is one of those things.
I happily will.
Talk about this slideshow anime?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to.
And here's another one. One of Disney's, a bunch of Disney eras, the golden era, the wartime era, the silver era, the bronze era, the Renaissance era that we probably grew up with, the post-Renaissance, and then the revival. There's a bunch of stuff. Amazon, they have Has-Been Hotel, Invincible, The Legend of Vox Machina, and then this is an animation done by India. I think it's done by
Bahubali, I think.
Yeah.
Is how you'd say that.
This is a Bollywood anime. Warner Brothers with Adult Swim, Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. We don't have to talk about Ninja Kamui, but it's just on here. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Hanna-Barbera, Flintstone Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, So-and-So, Warner Bros. Animation, Batman the Animated Series, Animaniacs, OG Teen Titans. There's just a lot of this. Velma, ew. Comedy Central, they did the reboot Ren and Stimpy show that was supposed to be adult oriented, and that show was gross. South Park, Ugly Americans. I feel like I'm the only one who ever watched this. Nickelodeon, Doug, Fairly Odd, SpongeBob, Avatar, Beavis and Butthead for MTV, Clone High. I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
Dude, I've seen clips of Clone High, and It kills me, dog. It kills me.
I didn't know NBC owned Illumination, which is Minions, but they also apparently they also own DreamWorks, Shrek, Shark Tale. It's enough said. It's literally in the Google Doc. How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, great franchises. Hulu only has like 3 things. It's like this Marvel thing called Hitmonkey. Now, I had never heard of it. Me, a Marvel fan, I'd never heard of Hitmonkey. And then Solar Opposites. This is another Justin Roiland show by the creator. He's the one that got canceled for Rick and Morty.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
We could talk about like specific services like Crunchyroll. Like, what are they about? Like, I don't know anything about Crunchyroll, but by the time we get to this specific topic, I could probably be an expert. High Dive. What's going on with High Dive? I could tell you a little bit of High Dive, but I don't want to right now. Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Donghua.
If we get on the topic of Kamen Rider, I'll just be nerding out for however long the podcast is.
And you know what? That'll probably be a special episode for the Kamen Rider fans.
Hell yeah, brother.
Apparently in Korea, there's also another way to say anime, like any. Or I don't know how Koreans would say that.
That's a good question, yeah.
But for like comics, it's manhwa. And then obviously Solo Leveling, aka Sung Jinwoo. And then another one I kind of wanted to go into because we've talked about this before, live action anime.
Dude, I'd love to talk about live action anime. Like, dude, it's so funny.
Death Note, Attack on Titan, Bleach, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Where is the Full Metal Alchemist live action movie, Jose? Where's that on there?
My bad. I forgot to put it.
Yeah, you bet you did.
And then obviously the 4 Kids debacle, if we ever want to talk about
the Tokyo Ghoul live action movie, Jose?
Look, there was a lot.
Okay, there's a few.
But some of these could be put together as like one episode or something we could talk about, or some of these could become their own episodes. So for example, Power Rangers, that'd probably be like one thing, like a one and done. But something like, you know, if we talk about Shueisha, that would probably take a couple of episodes. Like we talk about Shueisha and then we talk about, you know, how this specific thing came about, you know, how did we get Naruto? How did we get Dragon Ball? How did we get One Piece? How did we get Bleach? So on so far as, you know, north of the 5th star. I know that's said wrong, but that's just how I say it. Just those kinds of things. You know, like I'm saying, like Kodansha, they have a bunch of imprints, which is where Vagabond is published in, but they also have a couple other imprints. So it's just one of those things where like I want to talk about, I want to bring up different things, you know, like Image here, like indie comics, Hellboy Spawn, Marvel, X-Men, Spider-Man. Like, what do you guys know about it? That's just, that kind of thing. And like I'm not gonna ask you guys to go out of your way to read, find, or anything like that. I could bring stuff in, and then you could ask me questions about it, or I could tell you about it. But if you could at least find one thing, you know, about like Spider-Man, just, you know, you guys have seen the movies, so you could just ask me about the like movies, and I could tell you what I know from the comic.
Well, for the comic book episode, if we dedicate one just to that, yeah, you're gonna hard carry that episode.
Yeah,
for sure.
But if it's something like Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we're not gonna, you know, if I bring up Yu-Gi-Oh for Shueisha, I could be like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh started as a manga about a bunch of games, but it quickly became about cards. Now I know a little bit about it. This is what I did some research on. But what can you guys tell me about Yu-Gi-Oh? And then you guys just go about it that way. But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully we can grow some kind of an audience. I know I've been wanting to do this forever, and I'm glad Sherm and Baker agreed to do it. Someone like Baker somebody like Sherm hasn't been watching a lot of stuff recently, but you know, he's still here. Isn't that right?
It is right.
So aside from that, we'll peace out. Stay safe. Check your brakes. This has been the Anime Bullshit Podcast, or ABS for short. I'm Jose, aka Isano, and we hope to see you next week.